pareshanubhavo viraktir anyatra chaisa tri ekakala. In one moment, all three happen. This is the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam, chapter 2, text 42. 11 to 42. Bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktir. All three happen simultaneously. And the example that is given by our acharyas is just like when you're hungry, you eat the first morsel. What happens? There is pleasure, there is nourishment, and the hunger is gone. The pain of hunger is completely taken away. All three happen simultaneously, right? There is pleasure, there is nourishment, and hunger goes away. Similarly, when we are hearing Krishna Katha, when we are hearing about Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, three things happen simultaneously. Bhakti, Pareshanubhava, and Viraktir. Bhakti will rise. There is direct experience of the Lord and renunciation. And Jiva Goswami there, he comments by saying that actually this material example of eating prasadam is given because it's very relatable to devotional service. Why? Because when you start doing devotional service, when you start doing bhakti, it is pleasurable. Just like when you put the first morsel, it's pleasurable. Likewise, bhakti is pleasurable. Chakravarti Pad explains by saying even someone who is there on the sadhana bhakti platform, even that person relishes bhakti. And we see it's practically, we have all seen. We all wait for Kartik month. The month of Kartik, lights are dim. There are nice ghee lamps. You have devotees on all sides. They are chanting Damodarashtakam. Everyone is doing vrat. Everyone is chanting more rounds. Purushottamas. We wait for these festivals. Radhashtami is coming. We just celebrated Janmashtami. Even in a conditioned state, we see we are waiting. It's pleasurable for all of us. So bhakti is very, very pleasurable. Second, Pareshanubhava. When we have direct experience of the Lord, it nourishes our Krishna consciousness. Just like eating food nourishes, direct experience of the Lord, it nourishes us. We see in the first canto of the Bhagavatam, how Narad Muni, when he served the Bhakti Vedantas, and later he goes to the north, and he has a direct experience of the Lord. And after that, the Lord doesn't appear to him. Just once he gets a direct experience. But that is enough to nourish him and inspire him to become Narad Muni in his next life. And third, Virakti or renunciation is considered like when we are eating, the pain of hunger is taken away, the anxiety is taken away. Likewise, when the person becomes renounced, he may be in this world, but the anxiety of how things will happen, how things will unfold, that anxiety is completely taken away because Krishna is completely maintaining him. So it's a very beautiful purport we find, of course, written by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, but they add Chakravarti Pad and Jiva Goswami's commentary there. Krishna Katha or Bhakti, it's like digestive fire. Acharyas give another example. You see, they give modern day examples so we can relate. How is Bhakti or hearing Krishna Katha like digestive fire? Because you see, digestive fire, it burns the unwanted substances, but it absorbs the nutrients. It will not burn the nutrients. It will burn the unwanted substances, but nutrients are absorbed. Likewise, Krishna Katha is like that. It will burn away the anarthas, but it will help us absorb in the mood of Gopi, Bharatur, Padakamalayor, Das, Das, Anudas. It will help us absorb in the mood of the servant, of the servant, of the servant. It will help us absorb in the mood of Vrindavan Dham. It will help us absorb, get the mood. The heart will become like a sponge. And like the sponge, we can start absorbing Brajaras, Braj Bhakti. One time, one person came to Prabhupada. He was an Indian person. And he said, Swamiji, your disciples, they're all bookworm. They're constantly studying your books. They're all bookworm. Prabhupada looked at him very authoritatively and said, it's better to become a bookworm than to become a stoolworm. If you don't study my books, you will become a stoolworm in your next life. Better you become a bookworm, pack your bags and go back to Krishna. Better to become a bookworm. So my disciples are doing the correct thing. And that person never came back because he didn't expect an answer like this. So we find Prabhupada's books are very, very deep and very sweet. and very nectarian. It's the heartfelt realizations that Prabhupada is penning down as the Bhaktivedanta purports. But we see in our existence that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, they are like the sun and the moon. Mahaprabhu is like the sun. Nitai is Nitai Chand, he's like the moon. Chaitanya Bhagavat starts Adi Kandha, chapter 1, text 1, starts with a very beautiful verse and very, very popular verse. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadhato sankirtanai kapitarau kamalayatakshav vishwambarau dvijavarau yugadharma palau vande jagatpriyakarau karunavatarau. Very, very sweet verse. What does it say? Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadhatau. Chaitanya and Nityananda, how are their arms? How are their hands? Ajanulambita bhujau. Their hands are such, they extend below the knees. It is explained one of the 32 signs of someone who is very advanced is his hands will extend below the knees, a Mahapurush. So we can try it. We can try it in our own sweet time. Of course, if you're sitting, the hands will extend, not sitting. When you're standing, if the hands are extending below the knees, it is one of the 32 signs of someone who is very, very advanced. So Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, how are their arms? Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadato. Their hands extend below the knees. Sankirtanai kapitarau. They are pitarau. This is a very interesting verse because we see the whole verse, dual case is used. In Sanskrit, so in English we have singular and plural. In Sanskrit we have singular, dual and plural. Singular case, dual case, and we have plural, more than two. So here we find male and dual case is used. Ajanulambita bhujau, dual, kanakavadhatau, sankirtanai kapitarau, kamalayatakshav, vishwambarau dvijavarau, yugadharma palau, vande jagatpriyakarau, karunavatarau. Everything dual case. So Sanskrit is singular, dual and plural. So we find Chaitanya and Nityananda, their hands are extending below the knees, but who are they? Sankirtanai kapitaro. They are the fathers of the Sankirtan movement. When Nityananda Prabhu, in the year of 1486, he was waiting for Gauranga Mahaprabhu's appearance. And when Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486, he was so ecstatic that he inspired the sannyasi to come. You come and you take me, because my parents will otherwise not leave me. My dear sannyasi, you come and you take me away, because now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared. So in the age of 1486, year of 1486, our Nitai leaves home. And for the next 20 years, he keeps traveling. In 1506, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu starts the Sankirtan movement in Nadia, Nityananda Prabhu packs his bags. He was in Vrindavan that time. He packs his bags and goes to Ishodhyan in the house of Nandanacharya, and he hides there. And that is when Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu for the very first time in Ishodhyan in the house of Nandanacharya meet each other. And when Gauranga Mahaprabhu looks at Nityananda Prabhu, when Nityananda Prabhu looks at Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the most popular verse is chanted, because now Nityananda Prabhu is so much in the mood of Balaram. He's seeing his Krishna. Nitai is seeing his Krishna. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu is seeing his Balaram. At that time, Navadvip Dham Mahatma explains the associates of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, they chant the very, very popular verse from Venugit. Barha Pidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram Bhibradvasa Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randran Venu Radhara Sudayan Purayan Gopa Brindair Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti. Canto 10, chapter 21, text 5 of the Venu Geet. And when Nitai hears this is like an uddipan, it's a stimulant. And he hears Krishna's Braj Leelas, and Nityananda Prabhu falls to the ground. The first meeting of Nitai and Gauranga Mahaprabhu was through the verse of Venu Geet, Srimad Bhagavatam. So these verses are very, very powerful, dear devotees. So Gauranga and Nityananda, they are the fathers of the Sankirtan movement. When Mahaprabhu started Sankirtan in 1506, Nitai also went there and joined him. And they both of them became the fathers of the Sankirtan movement. And how are their eyes? Kamalaya Takshau. Their eyes are like lotus. They're wide in the center and they're big and they're like tapering. They almost go and kiss the ears. Very, very soft. Lotus is very soft. So eyes are very soft, big eyelashes, and they're big in the center and nicely go and kiss. You see, generally, Matajis of this world, maybe not the Prabhujis, but Matajis have a habit. If they put eyeliners, and the eyes will be till here, but they will put eyeliners and they will kind of stretch it and they'll like make it look tapering. You see that Matajis have this habit. But Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu's eyes are not like that. They are naturally like a lotus. They are big in the center and they are tapering and they go and kiss the ears. Kamalaya Takshau. Vishwambaro Dvijavaro. They are Vishwambaro. They are the maintainers of the whole world. Actually, Krishna is our maintainer. Gauranga and Nityananda are our maintainers. My worshipable spiritual master Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj explains that in one of the classes he says, and of course this is for the Prabhujis, he says, those male members, those husbands or those Prabhujis who think that they are the maintainers, they should leave their home for 1 week and go somewhere. Switch off their phone and go somewhere. And after 1 week, when you come back, you will see just like you were providing, Krishna is providing for them in a much better fashion, even in your absence. It crushes the false ego and helps us understand, Haribol Prabhu, you're not the maintainer. Krishna is the maintainer. Dainya Atma Nivedana Goptritve Varan Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palan. Krishna maintains everyone. Krishna maintains everyone. The animals, they don't work. They don't have money. They don't have Bank of America, Chase Bank, Wells Fargo. If you are from UAE, you have the ADCB Bank. ADCB in Abu Dhabi. I initially thought it's the ABCD Bank. They said, no, Prabhuji, it is ADCB, Abu Dhabi Corporate Bank or something like that. In India, you have ICICI, SBI, whatever it is. We have money in all these banks, but the animals don't have. But Krishna is maintaining them also. Why? Vishwambaro. He maintains everyone. Krishna maintains everyone. Look at Sridhar Swami's son. Sridhar Swami left him when he was very, very small. 25 years later, when Sridhar Swami comes, his son is maintained perfectly. And in that village, he was giving katha. Who maintained him? Krishna maintained him. Look at Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit was very poor. He would not even work. So Mahaprabhu came to him and said, how will you maintain? How are you maintaining yourself? Srivas Pandit said, very easy. I clap 3 times. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is the meaning? What is the Bhakti Vedanta purport behind this? What is this 3-time clapping? He said, my dear Lord, I will clap 3 times. And in 3 days, whatever I want, if it doesn't come, along with my family, I will go to the Ganges and I will jump and commit suicide. But my dear Lord, till this date, it has never happened that you have not provided. I clap 3 times and I get it. So Krishna maintains us. Krishna maintains everyone. I was speaking to one devotee when I was in Vrindavan. And this devotee mentioned there was some discussion about money. So I mentioned to that devotee that Don't you feel that if you live outside, probably you can amass more Lakshmi and then you can come to Vrindavan, so that in Vrindavan you can do full-on bhakti. And I was just trying to understand the mood of the devotee, trying to feel the pulse. And that devotee said, Prabhuji, even if I have to clean pots by going to the house of different devotees, I will do that. If that is what is required to live in Vrindavan Dham, to clean the pots by going to different houses of the devotees, my dear Prabhu, I will do that, but I will not leave Vrindavan Dham. And I was thinking to myself, what surrender? What surrender? And that devotee is very, very qualified, very qualified. He can have like a very good job outside, but he said, I'm ready to clean pots in Vrindavan, but if that is going to help me stay in Braj, I will do that. I met another Mataji this time, and we know her very, very well. From the time I was small, we would go to their house. And eventually she packed up her bags and along with her husband, they went to Vrindavan Dham. So I was talking to that Mataji, and while in the discussion, she mentioned there was something about going to Mumbai. So I said, Mataji, if you can come to Mumbai. She said, no, I cannot come. So I said, why? She said, I have taken an oath. It is my desire that I don't want to leave Vrindavan Dham. So I said, okay, I respect your decision. And then she said, you please pray for me that I live, breathe, and die in this dust of Vraja. I don't want to go out. I have wandered enough, but now I have come home. I have come to Braj. I don't want to go anywhere else. We see, dear devotees, so many devotees around the world have very, very, very strong faith that Krishna maintains them. And it is a matter of realization. It's a matter of realization. That Mataji was explaining to me, that Prabhuji, they were explaining that in Vrindavan, Krishna is somehow maintaining us. Krishna is somehow maintaining us. We are practically seeing every single day, somehow or the other, the rotis, the dals, the sabjis, whatever we want, we are getting it. Krishna gives it to us in our door. Krishna maintains everyone. Why? Because he's Dvijavara. He's the best among Brahmanas and he is the maintainer. Vishwambarau is the maintainer and he's Dvijavara. Both of them are the best among Brahmanas. Krishna is Yaduvara. We have Prabhupada disciple, Yaduvara Prabhu. Hiranyakashpu is Asuravarya. Tatsadu manye Asuravarya dehinam. But who are Chaitanya and Nityananda? Dvijavara. They are the best among Brahmanas. But why have they come down? Yuga Dharma Palo. They have come down to spread, maintain the religion of this age, the Yuga Dharma, that is the loud congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is our Gauranga and Nityananda who are going house to house and spreading this. Abadda Karuna Sindhu Katiya Mohan and Ghare Ghare Bule Prem Amiyaraban. Lochan Das Thakur explains that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came down with this very beautiful jewel of Krishna Prem, Braja Prem, Vrindavan Dham, but there was a dam. There was a dam that was blocking these waters of Krishna Prem. But our Nityananda Prabhu, Katiya Mohan, there was a dam, but he went and broke that dam. He said, everyone should get this. My dear Gauranga Mahaprabhu, you have got this, but I will give it to everyone. Ghare ghare bhule prem ami araban. I will break this dam and every person will get this jewel of Krishna Prem. It was our Nitai. He went house to house, begging and knocking the doors. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna siksha. Nadiya godrume Nityananda Mahajan. Patiya che nama hata jivera karan. It was our Nityananda Prabhu who went ghare ghare bole prem. In every house, just like you see when the dam is broken, water flows in all directions. There is no control. It will flow in all directions. Nitai broke that dam. And the waters of Krishna Prem started flowing in all directions. Every house, every village, everyone was infused with Krishna Prem. The question arises, what was the dam? That dam was time factor. Krishna knew he had to come down to this world. But when he has to come, how he has to come, who are the associates, how the pastimes will be chalked out, how he's going to give Krishna Prem, he was still thinking. Time factor was the dam. Nityananda Prabhu said, accelerate, come on, come on, come on. Kali Yuga has started. Let's go down. Let's start inundating the whole world. Ghare ghare bole prem. He went and infused everyone. The Gurudev whom we have in our life is Nitai Swarup Shakti, dear devotees. He is in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu, going from house to house, door to door, giving everyone Krishna Prem. I was recently in Avatari Desh, which is Abu Dhabi. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj has very beautifully named all of them. Dubai is Damodar Desh. Abu Dhabi is Avatari Desh. Sharjah is Sham Desh. Bahrain is Balaram Desh. Just like Prabhupada would name New Vrindavan, New Dwarka, etc. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, in the mood of Prabhupada, has renamed and spiritualized everything. So before coming to US last 1 week, I was there in Avatari Desh and Damodar Desh. And there I finished a home program and devotees took me. They said, Prabhuji, we want to show you something. So I said, it was already 10:45 at night. I said, what is there to show at 10:45? Is like Krishna going to appear? It's almost night. It's time to sleep. Because next day morning we had another program that Prabhu said, Prabhu, please, I know it is getting late, but I want to show you something. So I said, okay, if they want to show me something at night, maybe it's very precious, it's worth seeing. Dear devotees, please hear this. If you didn't hear the whole class, it is okay. Just hear this last 5 minutes. They took me and they said, Prabhuji, just witness what we are going to show you. And I was thinking, what is it going to be? Are they going to actually show me Radha and Krishna? The suspense that was created was, my goodness. We went to a place and we see UAE, United Arab Emirates, is an Islamic country. It's primarily Muslims. And it's not like America where you can go out on the streets and perform Harinam Sankirtan. The government will probably put you behind bars. Right, Anita Mataji? The government will not allow you. The government is pretty strong. UAE, Saudi, etc. In America, you can do whatever you want. In India, you do whatever you want. But UAE is very strict. And still the devotees indoors, somehow they practice Krishna consciousness. So they took me to this place and I kept my slippers out. And I went inside. The whole apartment was about 500 square feet. Very small. So you can imagine 500 square feet, how much it will be. It is called as Radha Madhav Namhatta. Radha Madhav Namhatta. It is in Avatari Desh. They took me there. Dear devotees, 500 square feet, they have 3 bedrooms. 35 people live in that house. 35 people. I was amazed when the devotees told me 35. I thought I heard it wrong. I said, how much? They said, Prabhuji, 35. And outside slippers were all arranged. 35 people. So I said, okay, 500 square feet. You can imagine 500 square feet, 35 people living. It's transcendental madness. It's very difficult. They have one hall. In that hall, they have the deities, Gaurnithai. And they have Radha Madhav. You'll find in UAE, almost every house has Radha Madhav photo. Every house will have a Radha Madhav photo. It's guaranteed. Any house you go, you will find a Radha Madhav photo. So they have a cutout of Radha Madhav. And they are nicely kept. And they have 2-3 sets of Gaurnithai. And the hall is there. And apart from the hall, they have 3 bedrooms. 35 people live there. Dear devotees, they are all laborers. They're all laborers. It's not that they have a very aristocratic lifestyle. All of them, they're laborers. Like, for example, they work in the malls. You have Lulu malls. So they work in the malls. They are car cleaners. and they are in the hotels, in the restaurants as waiters. Their family is in India and they are living here. I looked at them and I asked the devotee, because I didn't have the courage to even speak to them. I was thinking, what level of devotion is this? Their companies are giving them accommodation to stay outside, but they are not staying outside. Why? Because if they stay outside, they have to eat onion garlic. They were saying, Prabhuji, we are staying here because if we stay here, we can eat prasadam. 35 people, Prabhuji, is nothing for us. We can eat prasadam, and outside we'll have to eat onion garlic. We have to eat in the mess. We don't want that. 35 people living in one house just so that they can have devotee association and they can eat prasadam. I was amazed. They have one restroom. That's it. 35 devotees, and all of them are up at 5:30 in the morning for Mangalarti. I was saying, how is it possible? 5:30 Mangalarti, 35 people, one restroom. How is it even possible? And they all just smiled. He said, "Ho jata hai. It just works out." And I was thinking, is it some Akshay Patra? Is the restroom expanding? And somehow it was a very small restroom. And it's not that it's very, very clean. It's not that they have fancy showers and they have jacuzzi and things like that. It's very obsolete. They are happy. They have one small kitchen. The kitchen is such that only 2 people can enter and stay. They cook for 70 devotees every single day. I was amazed. I was thinking, how is it even practical? Because 35 people, they eat in the morning, they eat in the evening. One devotee is assigned for this. Every day he cooks for 70 people, selflessly. And I asked him, how do you do it? He was beaming with joy. He was smiling. He said, it just happens. Radha Madhav help. It just happens. It doesn't end there. I go to Radha Madhav Namahatta. It is 11 o'clock at night. They're all wide awake. They're all wide awake. So I said, you please tell me, what is the secret of your bhajan? What is the secret of your bhakti? You are taking so much austerity just to do bhajan, just to be with devotees, just to eat prasad. You're taking bath in a restroom which probably many of us would not even look at. I'm literally saying, dear devotees, many of us would not even look at. They're happily, comfortably taking bath in a kitchen where it's so small. 70 people, prasadam for 70 people are cooked. I asked them, and they said, Krishna just maintains. Krishna, Gauranga and Nityananda are there for us. They just maintain us. And they said, can you speak something? They asked me, can you speak some katha? It was 11 o'clock at night. I said, you have to speak katha. I have come here to hear. You tell me. Because living in America, living in India with fancy, fancy houses, we find it difficult to do bhakti. Dear devotees, they make less than 1,000 dirhams a month. It is peanuts. For devotees who are in UAE, we'll know less than 1,000 dirhams is very, very less. For devotees in America, if the conversion has to be seen, it's somewhere around making about $300, $400 in a month. It's very less. Devotees there were telling me, Prabhuji, just the electricity bill amounts to like 300, 400 dirhams maybe. Less than 1,000 dirhams is nothing. It's peanuts. So they are not even saving anything. They are not practically able to send it to their family. They can't even go to India because tickets are expensive. They are living in a house with 35 people. They are taking bath in a restroom which is so outdated. I went to the rooms. I went inside and I went to the rooms, and they have bunk beds. And don't imagine the bunk beds are like soft bed. There is no bed. It is just wood. It is just wood. In one room, dear devotees, about 12 people sleep at night. The hall is just for Krishna. They can sleep in the hall. They have a nice split AC in the hall, but they don't sleep because they say this is for Krishna. 12 people sleep in one room. 12 like that. 35 people in one house. 12 people in one room. It's impossible. They're practically sleeping on top of each other. And because they're laborers, it's very difficult to work outside. Why? Because When I went, that time, it was about 45, 46 degrees Celsius outside. For devotees in America, that's about 105, 106 Fahrenheit. And to work in that hot sun is madness. It's complete madness. There will be sunstroke. They are laborers. They construct buildings. This is how they maintain themselves. And by the time they come home, it is like 11, 11:15, 11:30 at night. Dear devotees, I got the shock of my life. I asked them, when do you sleep? And few devotees told me, Prabhuji, so this was 11:15 at night. They said, after your class, our Bhakti Shastri class will begin. I said, what do you mean? He said, Prabhuji, our Bhakti Shastri class is from 2 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. I said, why so late? They said, Prabhuji, we don't have time during the day. We are laborers. नहीं, हमारे पास इतना समय नहीं है. समय का बहुत पाबंदी होता है, हमारे पास इतना समय नहीं है प्रभु जी. तो हम रात को करते हैं, 2 बजे से 4 बजे हम करते हैं, फिर 4 बजे को स्नान करते हैं, माला जपते हैं और 5:30 बजे मंगल आरती को आते हैं. So I said, who teaches at 2 o'clock? He said, there's one devotee from Mayapur. He also gets up for us and he teaches us. Dear devotees, I was thinking, what level of surrender is this? Working for 10, 12 hours in 46 degrees Celsius. And if you think the summers of India are difficult, you should go to UAE. The summers there are extreme, are really extreme. And to work there for 10, 12 hours, making less than 1,000 dirhams, 35 people in one room, one devotee cooking for 70 people. That devotee who's cooking for 70 people, he himself is about 65 years old. I was thinking, what level of bhakti is this? 12 people sleeping in one room, not making much money. But they're all happy. They're all blissful. They're all smiling. At night, 11:30, 11:45, when everyone goes to sleep, when I went there, they were also so kind enough that they got me mango milkshake, 11:45 at night. I was thinking, where do you get so much enthusiasm? Kahan se itna milta hai? Like, we find it difficult. You are living in such a place which is so challenging. The neighbors are all Muslims. It's not that you can do loud Sankirtan. They were telling me one time they did Sankirtan. It was some Janmashtami festival and a lot of people came to their home. So the neighbors who were Muslims, they complained to the police and police were there on the doorstep. But they still don't stop. And dear devotees, it doesn't end here. They were telling me, Prabhuji, on Janmashtami, that is this year Janmashtami, I went just after Janmashtami. They said, Prabhuji, for this Janmashtami, we had 400 people who came to this house. 500 square feet house. 400 people. I said, are you joking? They said, no. Radha Madhav is Sakshi. 400 people came. I said, how is it even possible? How do you do it? They cooked for 400 people. They are all blissful. They, with hands on my heart, they are the best devotees I ever saw in my life. I have never seen anyone as glorious as them. So wonderful. Dear devotees, it is worth it to take a flight from India to go to Abu Dhabi and see those devotees. You may lose 20,000 rupees, but you will gain so much momentum and so much enthusiasm in our bhakti. And while, if you're in America and you're going to India, please stop by in Abu Dhabi and just see these devotees. You will not regret it. Just take a visa and see those devotees. You will not regret it. They are the best devotees I've ever seen in my life. No one knows them. They are in some corner of this world. No one knows them. It's not that they are doing for some Facebook popularity, fan following, this, that. No one knows them. They are happy in a place where probably no one will even go to visit them. They were saying, and many of them are Bangladeshis, Nepalis. So they were saying कि प्रभु जी यहाँ कोई आते नहीं है क्योंकि छोटा जगह है, तो यहाँ कोई आते नहीं. बड़े बड़े जो प्रचारक है वो प्रोग्राम करते हैं लेकिन यहाँ आते नहीं क्योंकि छोटा जगह है. तो हम तो विनंती कर सकते हैं, we can only desire and pray, but not many come. And they all were having kanti mala. They were all having tilak. All of them chant 16 rounds. I said, how is this possible? If no one is coming here, how is this possible? And all of them loudly, they said, Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. I was having tears in my eyes. I was thinking, Srila Jayapataka Maharaj is in the mood of Nityananda Prabhu, Nitai Swarup Shakti, going from house to house, door to door, to places where most people will not go. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj goes them, inspires them, puts Kanchimala, puts Tilak, initiates them. Some of them are Brahminically initiated. I was thinking, what level of compassion is this? This is Nitai Swarup Shakti, dear devotees. Nityananda Prabhu has this mood of giving it to everyone. Uttama adhama kichu nakare vichar. And I could see when all of them said Srila Jayapadaka Swami Maharaj ki jai, my hair was standing on end. I am not joking. I had goosebumps. The level of conviction, the level of Shraddha that they had for their Gurudev, mind-blowing, mind-blowing. And I told the organizers this, next time when I come, even if you don't organize any program for me, just make sure I come and spend some time with them. I just want to see them. I just want to see the level of devotion that they have in circumstances that is extremely challenging. And I thought to myself, if after having a house, after having laptop, internet, mobile, many of them, by the way, many of them don't have internet. They have the old Nokia phone. You see, you would have that Nokia Guru, the old phone. Many of them have that. They don't have smartphone. They cannot afford. They don't have money for internet. So when they come home, they have Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi money is provided by the devotees. Devotees sustain. So they don't even have internet. They cannot access Veda base. When they're outside, there is nothing that keeps them engaged. But still they're so inspired. Still they're so inspired. I was thinking to myself, we have laptop, we have internet, we have Veda base, we have Bhakti Sangha, we have so many devotees who come on this call, so many devotees who probably come to our house, who inspire us. Krishna has given us every facility. We have the money that we want. We have the car that we want. We have all the luxury, all the Aishwarya. Whatever we want, Krishna is just lavishly giving it to us. And if after all this, we complain to Krishna saying, Krishna, I have this problem. I have that problem. I cannot do bhakti. I was thinking to myself, it is shame on me. It is shame on me. If they, in such circumstances, if they can do bhakti without complaining, they were smiling. They were smiling like Jagannath. They were smiling end to end. They were happy. They were convinced that their Gurudev and Krishna is maintaining them. And it is a fact, dear devotees. Gauranga Nityananda maintains everyone. It is a fact. We oftentimes give different terminologies. Oh, this person is hardworking. He's workaholic. He is this, he is that. It only shows that there is lack of surrender. Those who have lack of surrender to the lotus feet of Gauranga Nityananda will work and try to maintain themselves and are convinced that I am the maintainer. But actually Krishna maintains everyone. Krishna is maintaining them. And Krishna is maintaining so many of us. We have just taken it for granted. We have all the luxury that we want. If we are there in their position, we will crib, we will complain, we will criticize, and probably we will be atheistic. We will say God doesn't exist, because if he existed, why is it that I am poor and some others are rich? So we find Nityananda Prabhu was like that. Ghare ghare phule prem ami araban. He went from house to house, and Srila Jayapataka Maharaj in that mood is just inundating the whole world. And not just Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, all the glorious disciples of Prabhupada who are traveling around the world, all the preachers who are going around the world and spending their time and energy and their blood to inspire so many devotees. It takes a lot of effort. This is Nitai Swarup Shakti. This is Nityananda Prabhu Shakti. Without Nitai Swarup Shakti, no one can do this. Impossible. Next to impossible. Before we end, I know, dear devotees, we are a little over time, but please kindly forgive me. I wanted to speak this. It was it was there on my tongue and I wanted to give it to someone. This is the first class after I've come to America I'm serving. So I wanted to give it to someone. So kindly forgive me, we are over time. But we see tomorrow is the day of Radhashtami in the US, and probably in India it's on Saturday. How do we please Srimati Radharani? We please Srimati Radharani by pleasing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When I was going to Varanasi to preach this time, so I was in the Mumbai airport, and in India airport, you see you have the security, and they have the sensors and they kind of go around. So he was checking, and I had tilak and kanchi. So he said, "Kahan se ho, Vrindavan?" So I said, "No, I'm from Mumbai." How I wish I was from Vrindavan. So then he said, prior to that, he said Radhe Radhe. So I also said Radhe Radhe. And then he said, "Kahan se ho, Vrindavan?" So I said, "Nahi, Mumbai se." Lekin I told the security guard that आप प्रार्थना कीजिए कि अगले जन्म तो हम ब्रजवासी बन जाए. So he smiled. He was a Mathuravasi. And he looked at me and said, "हाँ, मुंबई में है, लेकिन राधा नाम तो हर जगह है. राधा रानी का नाम ऐसा है कि राधा रानी का नाम मानो हर जगह है. आप चाहे मुंबई में भी क्यों ना हो, राधा नाम तो हर जगह है." And I started laughing. I said, "Yes." And while he was doing the security check, both of us said, "Srimati Radharani ki jai." And it was so glorious. So we see tomorrow is the day of Radhashtami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. But how is Radharani pleased? By worshipping Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Yatha yatha Gaura Padara Binde Bindeda Bhaktim Grida Punya Rashi Tatha Tatho Sarpada Ridya Kasmat Radha Padam Boja Sudam Rashi. Chaitanya Chandramrita explains, Bodhananda Saraswati explains, to the extent one is surrendered to the lotus feet of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, to that extent he will receive the mercy of Radharani. Waves of Radha Prem, Braja Prem will rise in the heart of that devotee who surrendered to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But how do we please Gauranga Mahaprabhu? We please Gauranga Mahaprabhu through Nityananda Prabhu. We find in Chaitanya Bhagavat there is this Brahmana who walks all the way and goes and meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not very interested to meet him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at him and he says, "Se tahare priti kare, se kare amare, satya 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 vipra kohila tumare." My dear Vipra, my dear Brahmana, this is truth, this is truth, this is truth. Without pleasing Nityananda Prabhu, you don't get me. And without pleasing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you don't get Radharani. And without pleasing Sri Radha, you don't get Krishna. It starts with Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prasade se Gaura Chandra Jani, Nityananda Prasade se Vaishnave Rachini, Nityananda Prasade se Ninda Jarashay, Nityananda Prasade se Vishnu Bhakti Hoy. It starts with Nityananda Prasad. If you have Nityananda Prasad, if you have the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Prasade se Gaura Chandra Jani, if you have the mercy of Nitai, Gaura Chandra Jani, you can understand Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prasade se Vaishnave Rachini, you will understand Vaishnavas and you will get the mercy of Vaishnavas. Nityananda Prasade se Ninda Jarashay, if you have the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, the fault-finding tendency will be completely gone. One will stop criticizing. Nityananda Prasade se Vishnu Bhakti hoy, and by Nityananda Prabhu's Kripa, Vishnu Bhakti will start. Krishna Bhakti will start in our life. It all starts with Nityananda Prabhu. And that Nityananda Prabhu comes in our life as Gurudev, Nitai Swarup Shakti. Before we end, the last line says, Nityananda Prasade se Vishnu Bhakti hoy. By Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, we get Vishnu Bhakti. And oftentimes we see, this is a very often asked question, when we do the Tulsi Pranam Mantra, Vrindaye Tulsi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavasya cha. After that, what? Vishnu Bhakti or Krishna Bhakti? So there is some confusion. Some say Vishnu Bhakti, some say Krishna Bhakti, some say Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti. Some say Vishnu Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. You find different patterns. So Ekalavya Prabhu or Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj in one class was mentioning, one time he was in Vrindavan and he was saying the Tulsi Pranam Mantra. And he said, Vrindaye tulasi devyaye priyaye keshavasya cha Vishnu bhakti prate devi satyavatte namo namah. He said this. And Indra Prabhu from behind, he came and he yelled. He said, no, it's Krishna bhakti, Krishna bhakti, Krishna bhakti. And Ekalavya Prabhu said, okay. Indra Prabhu was such a Raganuga Vaishnava, he would see Krishna everywhere. But from the Shastric standpoint, it is Vishnu bhakti. When Prabhupada was also asked in a letter, Prabhupada, I think, writes to Jadurani Mataji and he says it is Vishnu bhakti. So Vishnu bhakti prate devi satyavatte namo namaha. But how does that Vishnu bhakti start? It starts with Nityananda Prabhu. With Nitai, we have everything. He no Nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna pahite nai, Druda kori dharo Nitai pai. Dhruda kori dharo nitai pai. We have to hold the feet of Nityananda Prabhu very tightly because he will give us Radha and Krishna. Daya koro more nitai, daya koro more, ogatira goti nitai, sadhu loke bole, daya koro more nitai, daya koro more. My dear Nityananda Prabhu, please shower mercy. You are showering mercy on everyone. Please look at this insignificant fool and shower your mercy. O Gotira, Goti nitai, sadhu loke bole. Those who have no gati, no spiritual destination, those who are ignorant, those who don't know where to go. Nityananda Prabhu is their life guard. Nityananda Prabhu shows direction to them. Who is saying sadhu loke bole? The sadhus are saying, if someone wants momentum and direction on the path of Krishna Bhakti, Druda kori dharo nitai pai, hold the feet of Nityananda Prabhu very, very tightly. Having said this, I very humbly want to stop here and thank all the devotees for very kindly being on the call. And because of your presence, I could glorify Nityananda Prabhu and I could glorify the most glorious, wonderful devotees of Radha Madhav Namahata at Avatari Desh. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Avadhuta Shiromani Shri Nityananda Rama ki jai.